Number 13, 6'2 junior, 180-pounder out of Lithia, Florida. Nick's doing a whale of a job running the offense, averaging 5.7 assists per game, 9.4 points per contest, and 3.6 rebounds a game. In the middle, Lawrence Rowley, 6'5 junior, 200 pounds out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. Lawrence having a big junior season. He's averaging 13.4 points per game and leads the team with 8.4 rebounds per contest. Then comes Mason Johnson, number 24, 6'7 sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's averaging 6.6 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game. Over the last 3 games, he's averaging 15.3 points per contest. And then number 32, Matthew Schneer, 6'4 junior, 195-pounder out of Boca Raton, Florida. He's averaging 16.2 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game. And this week he was named the UAA Player of the Week, hauling in 14 points and 13 rebounds combined in those 2 games last week against Chicago and Washington, a pair of victories. Emory comes into this one 16-2 overall. They are ranked 6th in all of Division III. They're 6-1 in conference play, while the Maroons come in with a 7-11 record and 2-5 in conference play as we get ready now for the playing of our national anthem. It's a great night here, kind of a chilly night in Atlanta, Georgia. But the Emory Eagles have been on fire all season long, 16-2, and the 2 losses, both losses, have been buzzer beaters here on the home hardwood. So heartbreakers there, but 16 victories, ranked number 6, and that's time for the anthem. And as the final notes of the national anthem waft into the rafters here at the Robert Woodruff PE Center, we are getting ready for another terrific UAA basketball game. Of course, Emory, coached by Coach Jason Zimmerman, now in his 13th season. Coach Zimmerman has posted 213 wins against 72 losses. He is the all-time winningest coach in men's basketball history here at Emory University. He's led his team now to 11 consecutive winning seasons. They've gone to the NCAA tournament the last 7 years in a row, and most likely it'll be 8th at the end of the regular season here. We want to congratulate the women's team. They won 51-39 over the Lady Maroons of the University of Chicago, so they likewise are having a good season. The Emory men's team has been ranked as high as number 3 in the country. Those 2 buzzer beater losses have dropped them down, but not too much. They're ranked 6th, and of course, they start 4 juniors and a sophomore, so the future very, very bright here at Emory University's men's basketball program. The University of Chicago, they're coached by Mike McGrath. He's the veteran now in his 21st season. He's had 294 losses, 294 wins going against 209 losses. This year's team 7-11 overall, 2-5 in conference play. And of course, these 2 teams played just a week ago. Emory coming out on top in that one, 83-66. Coach giving the last words of encouragement, advice in coaching. Emory in the home gray, which they've worn all season. University of Chicago in their traveling maroon and white jerseys. And we're getting ready to jump center. It's going to be Bryce Hopkins, the 6'5 freshman, jumping for Chicago. And, of course, Lawrence Rowley, jumping center for Emory. And away we go. It's great to be young and be an Emory Eagle, and the game is underway. The ball kind of bounced around like a pinball, but it's possessed now by the Maroons. Backdoor pass, and the first hoop of the day goes to Cole Schmitz as the Maroons take the quick early lead 2-0. Nice pass from Baum to Schmitz. Jumper up, no good. Battling for a rebound, pulled out of there by Baum. He brings it down himself. He handles the ball quite a bit, as does Beckman, who has it right now. Top of the key to Schmitz. He's their leading scorer, averaging 13.2 points per game. 21 is the freshman, Bryce Hopkins. Probably the best athlete on the team. He backs in and takes a nice jumper right there, Bryce Hopkins, and it's 4-0. Quickly, Chicago on top. Emory working it around. Maroons in a man-to-man defense. Matthew Schneer gives it up. Long ranger, Mason Johnson. Good! A three-pointer to start things off for Emory, and that cuts into that 4-point lead big time. Mason Johnson has been playing outstanding basketball since being inserted into the starting lineup. The last 3 games, he's averaging over 15 points per game. There's the freshman again, Beckman. Boy, he's a good-looking freshman. He drives in, he scores. 6-3, Maroons on top. Maroons want to play run and gun. That's going to go right where Emory wants to go. Lawrence Rowley battling inside. He picks up the foul, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Lawrence is just having an outstanding season. 6'5 junior out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. 13.4 points per game, 8.4 rebounds per contest. He's the leading rebounder on the team. He gets the team a lot of second chance points hitting that offensive glass. Pretty good free throw shooter, shooting 73%. He hits the second one, and that cuts the Maroons lead to 6-4. Early in this game here at the Woodpeck Center, the Emory Eagles ranked 6th in the country, taking on the Maroons of the University of Chicago. Nice rebound there by Matt Schneer. Long ranger by Roman Williams, no good. Schneers that one. Goes back up strong, off the glass, no good. Battles for it, can't come away with it. And it's Chicago ball. Baum with it. He's going to fire up that left-handed three-pointer, and he hits. The senior out of Deerfield, Illinois. And it's 9-5, biggest lead of the game. There's a hip. Lawrence Rowley scoring that one. Cuts the lead to 9-6. Rowley with 3 points now. He'll go back to the free throw line and try to complete the three-point play. 73% free throw shooter. And he hits. And the lead's cut now to 9-7. Into the corner. Schmitz, no good. And they said it went off an Emory Eagle, so it's going to be Maroons basketball underneath their own hoop. Looks like it's going to be Baum triggering it in. He'll be harassed by Rowley. He'll get those big arms flaring right in front of him. Left-hander trying to get it in, has to come way back out to Beckman. Baum now drives in with the left hand, lobs it into McDaniel, who just checked in, and throws it away for a turnover. So Brennan McDaniel, number 35, 6'6 junior, just checking into the game. He started a lot of the games this year for the Maroons. Rowley inside. Easy play. It can't get any easier than that. Lawrence Rowley lobs it in. to Mason Johnson, who lays it up and in, and Mason now with 3 points. 5 points. Roman Williams with it, trying to create a shot. Might have traveled, did travel. Almost got away with it, but he took one too many hops. Chicago leads 11-9, 16:41 to go here in the first half. These teams very familiar with each other, having played just last weekend. And Emory winning that one 83-66. Turnaround jumper by Hopkins, no good. McDaniel with the rebound. Right back inside it goes to Cole Schmidt, who backs in, turnaround jumper. No good, kind of a wild shot. Rebound by Schnare. Nick Stuck, top of the key now, goes cross court. Matt Davitt is now checked into the game. He's averaging over 13 points per game. And here comes Baum. Cross court it goes to Beckman. Beckman drives, he's a left-hander as well. McDaniel gives it up. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Cole Schmitz with it, leading scorer on the team. Long ranger by Baum, air ball, hits nothing. McDaniel saves it, but saves it to Davitt. And here come the Emory Eagles. Nick Stuck looking for somewhere to go, comes back outside. Davitt drives in, 12-footer, good. Matt Davitt, 6'7" junior out of University Heights, Ohio. He's averaging 13.9 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game, and this game is all tied up at 11-11. Emory playing man-to-man defense. Lobs it inside. There's the freshman, Hopkins. He's fouled, and I think it's going to go against number 24, Mason Johnson. That's his first. Mason has a three-pointer and another hoop, so he has 5 points to lead the way. Lawrence Rowley has 4 points. And Matt Davitt has the other two, so it's 11-11. Bryce Hopkins, 6'5", freshman out of Palatine, Illinois. He's only a 55% free throw shooter. Hit the first, missed the first, hit the second. So there's your 55% just about. 12-11, 1 point lead for the Maroons. Emory has never led in this game as of yet. This would be a good time to hit a bucket. Nice pass, terrific pass by Lawrence Rowley to Matt Davitt, and Emory does have its first lead of the game, 13-12. You can't draw up a better two-man play than that, but right back on the other end, McDaniel wide open. As Chicago regains the lead, and then a quick strike right back by Nick Stuck. And Emory leads it again, 15-14. I don't think Chicago wants to get into a racehorse with the Emory Eagles, but it's fun to watch these teams go back and forth and back and forth. Ryan Martin is checked in for the Maroons, number 20. And there's Beckman, drives in, he shoots, he scores. And Chicago regains the lead. Mason Johnson with it. Comes back outside. He's got to get out of the lane, which he does. Stolen away from Nick Stuck by Beckman. Beckman brings it down, throws it inside, throws it away. Nick Stuck now with the steal and leading the fast break to Matt Davitt. And Matt's fouled. Won't be a shooting foul, but it will be a foul. And Coach Jason Zimmerman changing up the lineup a little bit. Matt Snares checks in. Number 12, Greg Lawrence, a 6'6" freshman. And the Fairfield, Connecticut checks in for his first action, as does Luke Morrison, 6'4" junior out of Bristol, Indiana. So 3 fresh players in for Emory. Schneer's kind of pushed out of bounds. Roman Williams comes back outside. Long ranger. Good! Luke Morrison comes off the bench, bags the three-pointer, and gives Emory its biggest lead at 2 points, 18-16. There's so much firepower in this team. 4 guys average in double figures for Emory, but there's guys on the bench that can come in and hit the tray. And Coach Jason Zimmerman liberally uses that lineup. Inside it goes Munson. Reverse layup. He scores. He just checked in. Zach Munson, 6'7" sophomore. And this ball game is tied up at 18-18. As I mentioned, Emory won last week 83-66, and sometimes you beat a team by 17 points. You think, hey, we got them at home. This is no problem. But I'm sure Coach Zimmerman has told them this is a brand new game. And this is a very tough conference, top to bottom. So we're tied at 18-18, 12:45 to go. Matt Davitt has checked back in the lineup. Munson with it. Comes out to Ryan Martin. Now Baum, point guard, calling signals. McDaniel, top of the key. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. And it's stolen away, but stolen right back into McDaniel, but blocked beautifully by Greg Lawrence, who has got a boatload of blocks this season. Terrific block, three-pointer. Matt Davitt in and out, no good. But look who chases it down. Matt Schneer, the UAA Player of the Week. Long range, no good. Rebound to Emory. And back up and back in. Luke Morrison with 5 quick points off the bench. Emory takes the lead 20-18. Luke Morrison with a 3, and that bucket right there. Munson with it now to Baum, top of the key. Baum trying to run the offense. Goes over to Munson. Munson trying to backdoor. McDaniel with it. Jump shot now off the pet mark, no good. Roman Williams goes over into the corner. Top of the key, Matt Davitt from 3. Just a little bit too short. Hit the front of the rim and couldn't get the shooter's roll. McDaniel wide open, puts it up left-handed. This game's tied at 20-20 as McDaniel gets an easy hoop inside. Greg Lawrence with it now. Long ranger. No good. Luke Morrison was feeling it though. Came off the bench, hit 5 quick points, and that would have brought the fans to their feet had that one gone in. Morrison kind of trapping his guy over there. Colangelo. Baum with it, shoots the left-handed, no good. Rebound, Greg Lawrence quickly gives it up to Matt Schneer, and the junior will bring it down, goes cross-court to Matt Davitt, now into the hands of the point guard. Schneer looking for the give and go. Three-pointer, no good by Roman Williams. Emory a little cold from the home run arc tonight. Colangelo with it, number 32. Comes across court. Ryan Master. And Chicago regains the lead at 22-20. And a steal, McDaniel with it. He drives in, puts it up, and they're going to call a foul on Luke Morrison. At that point, there's 2 things to do. You either get in front and take the charge, or you go up and try to block it. And Luke kind of got caught midway in both. So McDaniel will go to the free throw line shooting a couple. He's a 68% free throw shooter. He's a good scorer. He's averaging 11 points a game and 5.1 rebounds per game. That gives Chicago a 3-point lead at 23-20. Their biggest lead was 5 at 9-4. Emory's biggest lead has just been 2. McDaniel's second is good. And it's 24-20. 9:42 to go. Mason Johnson has checked back in for the Emory Eagles, as is Rowley. They got to come back outside to Nick Stuck. Long range three-pointer, number 32, Matthew Schnare. Boy, I can't tell you how many times this season Matthew Schnare has hit a hoop when the team has really needed it. He's the current UAA Player of the Week. Averaged 14 points and 13 rebounds in both games last week against Chicago and Washington University. No good with a three-pointer. There's a rebound. Maroons come back out with it. Now another long one by Beckman. No good. Lawrence Rowley hauls it in, and here comes Nick Stuck. Here come the Eagles on the fast break. Back outside to Rowley. Schnare just hit one. Backs in, gives it up. Emory really running the offense and crisply passing that basketball around. They just haven't hit a ton of shots. But they've taken good shots. They've taken open shots. They've taken shots that usually fall. But today they're just not quite going in. No good by the Maroons. Rebound there by Roman Williams. He says, I'll bring it down myself. Gives it back up to Schnare. And a great pass by Rowley to Schnare. Schnare misses, goes up with the left hand, was too far under. And the score remains 24-23. And then Baum throws it just a little too hard for Cole Schmitz to handle. Cole Schmitz is their leading scorer, averaging over 13 points a game. He has just 2 so far tonight. Emory right now, 9 of 21, so not too bad, 43%. 3 of 9 from the home run arc, which is 33%. Rowley drives in, a little bit too hard, no good. And here come the Maroons. Cross court it goes. Schmitz now to Beckman. Beckman checked by Stuck, cross court. Three-pointer on the way, no good short. Battle for it, it's going to go off Cole Schmitz. It's going to be Emory basketball. Nick Stuck brings it across the timeline. 7:18 to go here in the first half. Emory trails by 1, 24-23. Schnare with it, drives to the hole. No foul call. They said it was a clean block, so out come the Maroons. Beckman with it. Goes across court. And there's a layup by Mattia Colangelo, who lays it up and in basically, and it's 26-23. Roman Williams with it. Roman is yet to score. He's the team's leading scorer. And he's been out there most of the day. He just hasn't been able to get one to drop yet. You get that first one to go, and then a whole bunch is going to follow because he is one good shooter. Cross courts it goes to Martin. Martin drives in, turnaround jumper, in and out, no good. And look who's there, Nick Stuck, point guard. Had everybody blocked out and he just picked it off the court. Long range three-pointer, good. Roman Williams, just like I said, he hits one, he's going to start hitting them all. Ties the game at 26-26. Roman's first three-pointer and first points of the game. No good. Rebound Mason Johnson. Quickly up. Mason Johnson said, I'll take the 15-footer, and he hits. Mason Johnson. He's got 7 points. He leads his team in scoring. Emory has regained the lead at 28-26. Mason Johnson in the last 3 games has averaged over 15 points per game. Now there's good team defense Mattia Colangelo in all kinds of trouble. 2 or 3 Emory Eagles all over him, and they got him for a walk. It's Emory's basketball, and Emory has the ball and a 2-point lead with 5:27 to go here in the first half. Nick Stuck will bring it up. Luke Morrison is checked back in. He has 5 points. In and out, no good as Roman Williams drove to the hoop. That would have been a good one to fall. Beckman with it now, running the offense. Over in the corner it goes. Martin with it, trying to get it inside to McDaniel. They get that accomplished. McDaniel posts up, shoots the jumper, no good. Offensive rebound by Mattia Colangelo. And a foul is called. .446, we haven't had a timeout called yet in this game. It's going to be Maroons' ball underneath their own hoop. Baum is going to trigger it in, does nicely to Bryce Hopkins, the freshman, and that ties up the game at 28-28. Emory's got to do a better job buttoning up that play underneath. And there's Colangelo again with the steal to Baum. Left-handed across court it goes to Hopkins. The freshman has it blocked. Snare says, I got all ball. But the ref said, you got an arm too. So Bryce Hopkins, a 6'5 freshman out of Palatine, Illinois, is going to go to the free throw line. He's averaging 8.4 points and 4.1 rebounds per game. He's their top athletic type person. And he hits the first there. He's only a 55% free throw shooter. But he hit the first one there. Second one's up. And good. So now 30-28. Emory's biggest lead in this game has been just 2 points. The Maroons' biggest lead has been 5, but by and large, it's been a very, very close competitive game throughout this first half. Greg Lawrence is checked back in, number 12. Nick Stuck, top of the key. Over it goes to Matt Davitt. Snare from 3, a little too hard. Lawrence battling with it, and he kept it alive so that Mason Johnson could get it. Back out to Snare, wide open, a little too hard on that one. And McDaniel hauls it down for the Maroons. And it's Chicago ball and the lead 30-28. 3:47 to go here in the first half. Cole Schmitz, leading scorer, thrown away and fouled by McDaniel. As Schneider picks up the steal, and he was going to cruise down the sideline. And McDaniel said, I'm just going to stop things right here. Neither team in the bonus as of yet with 3:40 to go. Roman Williams with the ball. He has just that 1 3-pointer. He's the team's leading scorer, averaging 17.9 points per game. To Matt Davitt. To Mason Johnson. Great give and go. Mason Johnson to Matt Davitt, and then an intentional type foul. Matt Davitt goes down hard. We'll see if they add a technical to that. Or is it just going to go as a hard foul? Matt would have had an easy layup. And I guess they've called a timeout, maybe to let tempers cool off just a bit. But in any event, Emory is trailing here 30-28. We want to thank Athletic Director Dr. Michael Vienna and his top lieutenant Joyce Jalil for the outstanding job they do running the athletic program here at Emory University. Emory University has won 27 NCAA championships, They've won 202 UAA conference titles. They have 190 academic All-Americans to their credit and 126 NCAA post-grad scholars. So Dr. Michael Vienna and Joyce Jalil, they just do an outstanding job. As I mentioned, the women's basketball team already a winner tonight, 51-39 over Chicago. Matt David now standing there at the free throw line where he is a 95% free throw shooter. He's averaging just a whisker under 14 points per game. He started most of the time in the early going, and about the last 3 or 4 games they've used him coming off the bench, and he's been explosive offensively and defensively. Hits the first, cuts the lead to 1, and that's 5 points for Matt. And he hits them both, and we're tied up at 30-30. If you're a fan of college hoop, this has been a great game to watch. Very close, very competitive, very exciting. 3:16 to go, 30-30 your score. Bomb goes inside to McDaniel. McDaniel turns around, shoots the jumper, and hits. The 6'6 junior. And it's 32-30. Inside to Matt David. One hands it up there, no good. Tipped up by Greg Lawrence, who can't quite keep it alive. Bryce Hopkins rebounds. Back to him right now. He's thinking about the 3 now. He says, I'll drive in, get a little closer, and he does. Boy, he is a good-looking freshman. 34-30. He has 13 points to lead everybody right now. Does that freshman Bryce Hopkins. Nice try there by Mason Johnson, but it just won't fall. Baum gets it up to Hopkins. Hopkins having a big game. Cole Schmitz now with it. He just has 2. He's the team's leading scorer, averaging over 13 points a game. But the Maroons do a good job of spreading the wealth when it comes to scoring. Cross court it goes and stolen. Terrible pass. Greg Lawrence picks it up for the steal, and here goes Roman Williams and swatted away, and I mean swatted by Mattia Colangelo. And it's going to be Emory basketball underneath their own hoop. Nick Stuck's going to trigger it in. It's 34-30. 1:56 to go in the game, in the first half. Matthew Schnare comes back out. Rowley takes it in, puts it up. And they call an offensive foul on Lawrence. So the ball's going to go back over to the Maroons right now. And they have to be pretty happy with the first half that they have played, coming off a 83-66 shellacking last week in their place up in Chicago. Baum with it now, the left-hander. Cross court it goes. Colangelo from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound by Matt Snare, who's become a rebounding machine. Emory working around. Crisp passing, that's just one of the trademarks of a Zimmerman coach team, and that one finally goes in. Mason Johnson, I thought for a second that thing was going to rattle out, and it was way down. But it's just been one of those games where Emory just hasn't shot all that well. And yet they only trail by 2 at 34-32. Beckman, short, blocked by Schnare. Nick Stuck with it, 50 seconds to go. He gives it back out. Lawrence Rowley with the 3, and he hits the big guy from Ypsilanti, Michigan. Hits the 3, and Emory has regained the lead, 35-34. Lawrence Rowley, a terrific shooter. He's hitting 56% from the field. Now, granted, a lot of those are inside shots, but he can still shoot the home run when he needs to. Almost stolen away. McDaniel gets it, puts it up, and puts it in. Chicago reclaims the lead, 36-35. 17 seconds to go. Emory looks like they'll play for the last shot of the half. Down 1, Nick Stuck with it, 10 seconds to go. Roman Williams, jumper from 15, a little bit too hard. Rebound by McDaniel, and that's going to be the half. All on the season, 6-1 and tied for first place in the UAA conference standings. Chicago comes into this one, they're 7-11 overall, 2-5 in conference play. So a lot riding on this one. Emory ranked 6th in all of Division III in Coach Jason Zimmerman's 13th season. So as we get ready for the second half, it's an important 20 minutes for the Emory Eagles. Mason Johnson is going to trigger the inbounds pass. And then the second half will be underway. 36-35, Emory trails by 1, but it's Emory's basketball. Nick Stuck has it, and the second half is underway. Into the corner it goes. Emory, those good crisp passes. A trademark of a Jason Zimmerman coach team. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Roman Williams dishes it off to Nick Stuck. Dishes it off to an open Matt Schnare. A little bit too hard there, and it's rebounded by Dominic Larrabee. And then the Maroons throw it out of bounds. So an early break for the Emory Eagles as Matt Schnare will trigger it in. Nick Stuck quickly down court. Around they go. Roman Williams hits that one, a three-pointer, and it'd be great to see him get untracked here in the second half as Emory takes the lead, but right back come those pesky Maroons. 38-38 now. Roman Williams, he's got 47 three-pointers this season. He's a very good three-point shooter. He's just having a bit of an off first half is all, but he started the second half off strong. He's the team's leading scorer, averaging 17.8 points per game. Schnare with it. Emory looking for a good shot. Mason Williams takes it in, banks it off acrobatically, driving down the hoop, banks it off, and Emory takes the lead 40-38. Then there's that full court pressure. But right down the lane, missing it, is number 21, Bryce Hopkins, who leads everybody in scoring with 13 points. He missed a bunny there, but he's just a freshman. There's a fake by Mason Johnson. He couldn't get the three-pointer to drop, and Baum has it, brings it across the timeline. The point guard for the Maroons is going to set up his offense. Checked by Roman Williams. Try to run a give and go with Larrabee. Quick jumper by Baum is an air ball, no good. Mason Johnson was there, but they said it went off a Maroon, so it's going to be Emory basketball. No pressure from Chicago. Coach Mike McGrath letting Emory just dribble on down and get into their offense. Emory likes to run off picks and cuts, trying to find an open guy. Long ranger, no good. Tipped by a Maroon. And that might have been Emory basketball, but Nick Stuck hustling all the way, touched it last. And it's going to be Maroons basketball. Now Emory is going to pick up with some full court pressure here. Bryce Hopkins, the freshman, is going to inbounds it to Baum, the point guard. They're double teaming Baum, try to get it into somebody else's hands. Beckman comes up to help, but Baum gets it. To Hopkins, he drives in, shoots a little push shot, no good. He had 13 points in the first half. He gets his own rebound and gets it again. Looks like he's going to go to the free throw line. That's the team's first here in the second half. And it goes against Matthew Schnare. Hopkins hits that free throw. He's 4 of 5. Tonight, he's a 55% free throw shooter on the season. And another one. So he's only missed one from the charity stripe today. 40-40 your score, all tied up. Again, Emory's biggest lead has been 2 points. Chicago's biggest lead, 5 points very early in the game. Nick stuck with it. He's going to take the three. Boy, that looked good from up here in the rafters. Nick stuck finally. Bounces right back his way. Roman Williams drives. He's going to pick up a foul on one of the Maroon players. It's going to be whistled against number 14, which is Beckman. That's his second. Nobody in foul trouble for either team at this point. Snare with it, out of Roman Williams. Rowley from three, and the big guy hits. That's his second three-pointer of the game. 6'5" junior from Ypsilanti, Michigan. And he has 10 points. He's the leading scorer for the Emory Eagles. Emory playing good defense right there. And the Maroons had to call a quick timeout. So with 16:47 to go, Emory now enjoying their biggest lead of the game, a three-point bulge at 43-40. Of course, Jason Zimmerman has done just an outstanding job here at Emory University. He's now in his 13th season. He's the all-time winningest head coach. He has 213 career wins for Emory. He has 11 consecutive winning seasons. He's taken the team to the NCAA championship the last 7 in a row. Good chance for 8 in a row with this year. Got to the Elite 8 one year. So Jason Zimmerman's just done an outstanding job, and this is a very talented and a very young team with 4 juniors and 1 sophomore in the starting lineup. Cole Smits has it. He's the leading scorer, and he hits. That's his first hoop of the second half. He has 6 points in the game. He's averaging 13. Emory's done a pretty good job on him. Inside to Matt Davitt, who's just checked in. Matt Davitt scores! And Emory's lead is 3 again, 45-42. Matt Davitt now with 8 points, working hard. There's that freshman, Bryce Hopkins. And he has 17 points. He's putting on a show here in Atlanta. Whistle away from the action. Looked like it might have been Larrabee and Rowley kind of jostling there for a position for the rebound. And it was called on Dominic Larrabee. Mattia Colangelo checks in, number 32 for the Maroons. Long range jump shot, no good. Matt Davitt hits the ground, no foul called. Long pass to Larrabee, who gives it up quickly to Colangelo. And then to Baum, who might have taken a couple of steps. Schmidt with it now. Good pass, finds McDaniel, partially blocked. And here come the Eagles running the fast break. Nick stuck in charge. He takes it to the hole. He just his hands. He lays it up and he lays it in. And Emory takes the lead 47-44. That matches Emory's biggest lead. Larrabee gives it up to Schmidt. Schmidt comes back outside to McDaniel. McDaniel, a big first half, 12 points. He's from Roswell, Georgia. In fact, played at Woodward Academy. So it's a little bit of a homecoming for number 35, Brennan McDaniel. And he has played very well in front of family and friends here who came down from Roswell to watch him play. All right, 15:08 to go. Emory with their biggest lead, 3 points, 47-44. Good time to add to that lead. Get a little cushion. Matchnair with it. Inside it goes to Mason. Mason Johnson comes back outside to Davitt. Luke Morrison is checked in. He got 5 quick points in the first half coming off the bench. Then a long-range jumper by the point guard. Nick Stuck hits the three, and Emory now with their biggest lead, a 6-point lead, 50-44. McDaniel with it now. Gets it to Martin. Martin trying to go inside, trying to find Larrabee. Has to go to McDaniel instead outside. Long ranger by Baum, no good. And a nice rebound by Mason Johnson. Quickly ahead to Stuck, quickly ahead to Davitt. Cross court it goes. Jumper now. No good. Nick Stuck battling bomb for it, but he tips it out of bounds as Luke Morrison's jumper will not fall. Nick Stuck's going to go take a bit of a breather, and in comes Roman Williams. Matthew Snare also out there. Mason Johnson out there. Luke Morrison is out there in gray along with Matt Davitt. Those are your 5 in gray. Almost tipped away by Snare. Baseline shot by Martin. He misfires. Rebound by McDaniel. Long range. Boy, that was some shot by Beckman. He barely had a chance to catch it, let alone get a good grip on it, and he threw it up there and hit. And that cut the Emory lead in half. It's now back to 3 at 50-47 with a quick timeout. Emory Eagles hitting a little better here from the floor. As we check out our scoreboard, Emory has hit 19 now of 47. They're shooting 40% from the field, which is up from the first half. Emory is 8 of 20 from the home run arc, 40%, and they haven't shot a free throw yet this half. Chicago now overall 19 of 44 from the field, 43%. 2 of 13 from the home run arc, just 15%. So where Emory has 8 3-pointers, Chicago just with a couple. As we take a look at the stats, both teams getting ready to come back out now. Emory, biggest lead of the game has been 6. They've trailed by as many as 5. It's been a very close game. It's going to be Emory basketball. Matt Davitt is going to take it out, and Roman Williams is going to bring it up. 13:50 to go in a big conference game. Emory tied for first in the UAA with Washington University, who comes in on Sunday, and then Brandeis, the team that beat Emory on a buzzer beater. Lawrence Rowley with a terrific shot. Makes it 52-47, a 5-point Emory lead now on the baby hook. And Rowley now with 12 points and a turnover. So Rowley has 12. Mason Johnson has 11. Matt Davitt has 8. Nick Stuck has 7. Roman Williams has 6. Luke Morrison has 5. And Matthew Snare has 3. That's your scoring for Emory at this point in time. Mason Johnson has averaged over 15 points a game in the last 3 games. What a nice drive. What a nice move by Luke Morrison. It just would not fall. Colangelo now gives it up to the freshman Hopkins, who misfires. And it's going to be Emory basketball with 12:51 to go. And Roman Williams is saying, hey, man, I'm bringing it up. I'm driving to the hoop. And he gets clobbered by number 33, Mattia Colangelo. So Roman's going to go to the free throw line and shoot a couple. Roman, a very good free throw shooter, hitting 81% from the field. And of course the jinx was on with that one. Roman has 6 points. He's the leading scorer on the season, averaging 17.9 points per game. And he missed them both. Larrabee with the rebound. And Beckman's going to bring it up slowly and set the gears in motion. Colangelo with it. Martin running the show. Beckman trying to take the baseline. Does take the baseline. Gets the shot off and draws a foul. So Mason Johnson is called for that one. That's his second. Really nobody in too much foul trouble right now. Larrabee has 3 for Chicago, but that's not all that bad. All right, Matthew Schnare checks back in. Nick Stuck checks back in. Matt David and Roman Williams will take a breather. Beckman at the free throw line. Hits again. So it's a 3-point game, 52-49. Emory with a 3-point lead. Biggest lead they've had is 6. Nick Stuck with it now. Schnare, only 3 points today for Matt. Roman Williams, terrific pass. Just a terrific pass to Luke Morrison, who lays it up and in. And Luke with 7 big points off the bench in this game, playing very, very well. And Emory's lead back to 5 at 54-49. Beckman with it now, over to Colangelo. He drives, gives it up to Larrabee. It's stolen away by Nick Stuck. They call a jump ball. The arrow is going Chicago's way, so it's going to be Maroon basketball. And Beckman is going to trigger it inbounds. Back to Beckman from 3. Hits it. A 3-pointer. He now has 10 points. And this game is 54-52. Emory's lead just a hoop. Mason Johnson with it. Top of the key to Schnare. Back outside to Luke Morrison. Schnare drives in. He's fouled. That's 5 team fouls now for Chicago. Fouls on number 20, Ryan Martin. That's his second. Emory comes back outside to Mason Johnson, who drives in with the left hand, puts it up with the left hand and scores. Mason Johnson with 13 big points. And boy, every hoop is huge in this game because this has been a fun college basketball game. Very close all the way. Hard fought and well played. Into McDaniel. Jumper. In and out, no good. Cleaned out of there by the Emory point guard, who just brings it on down himself. Nick Stuck drives in, puts it up. No good, just a little bit too hard. McDaniel cleans the glass. He gives it up to Beckman. Beckman's going to shoot another 3. He says, I'm hot. Rowley with the rebound, and here we go. Up and down, back and forth. Boy, yeah. That was a late whistle, but there's no doubt about it that that was a charge. I thought for a second he was just going to let him play. But that is called on Nick Stuck. That's his first. So Matt David checks back in the lineup, and number 3, Luke Morrison, who had 7 points off the bench, goes back to the bench. Job well done. Beckman with it now. 56-52. Emory with a 4-point lead. Cole Schmitz. In it goes. And when you're the team's leading scorer, you get some time. That's 8 points for him. Cuts the Emory lead to just 2 at 56-54. Inside it goes to Schnare. Schnare around it won't go. He gets his own rebound, puts it up with the left hand. Matthew Schnare, the UAA Player of the Week. He averaged 14 points and 13 rebounds last week in 2 games. And you saw right there, he missed the first, got his own offensive rebound, put it back up, and then completes the 3-point play. Matthew Schnare, just a huge 3-point play when Emory needs points. 59-54, 5-point Emory lead. 10 minutes to go in this game. Matthew Schnare now with 6 points. Beckman goes to McDaniel. McDaniel, baby hook, gets it. The Roswell, Georgia native, the Woodward Academy grad. He's having a big game with 14 points. Rowley drives in, a little bit off balance, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. 59-56 your score. There's a nice crowd in here at the Woodpeck Center here on a Friday night in Atlanta, Georgia. Rowley hits the first. Emory up by 4. McDaniel's going to take a breather as Larrabee comes back in. McDaniel leads with 14 big points. Emory now up by 5, 61 to 56. Nick Stuck playing the good D. Almost got the steal. Baum goes down to the baseline. Cole Schmitz gives it up to Baum. Back outside to Schmitz. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Baum's going to hit that three-pointer, and he does with the left hand. 61-59 now as the senior drills one from the baseline for his 6th point of the game. Lob into Davitt. Davitt muscles it up, hits the deck, no whistle called. Larrabee all over him. Larrabee from 3. In and out, no good. Rebound nicely plucked out of the air by Nick Stuck, the point guard. He brings it down. Wide open is Roman Williams, and he hits. Roman Williams, the team's leading scorer on the season, bags that three-pointer, gives him 9 on the game, and gives Emory some breathing room at 64-59. Emory Eagles ranked 6th in Division III right now. 16-2 overall. Their only 2 losses, both coming on buzzer beaters. Emory is 6-1 in conference play, tied with Brandeis and tied with Washington University. Washington University comes in on Sunday. Brandeis will come in next weekend. This is the time of year that's very, very exciting. Emory, 11 consecutive winning seasons now under Coach Jason Zimmerman. 7 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. The Eagles are poised to make that 8 straight this year, if all goes well. A 5-point lead right now at 64-59. And the great thing about this year's Emory team is there's so many guys that can score. They have 4 players averaging in double figures, but the bench is so strong. And there's only 1 senior on the team, so just about everybody coming back next year. Emory picking up full court pressure, and I mean picking up some full court pressure. Now they drop back once Baum gets the ball. He brings it down. He's checked by Nick Stuck to Larrabee. Larrabee to McDaniel, the young man from Roswell, Georgia. They come back inside to him. He puts it up with the left hand and in. The Woodward Academy grad now with 16 big points. And it's 64-61. Emory's biggest low blocked away. And here come the Maroons. Cole Schmitz, the team's leading scorer, drives in on Matt Schnare. No good. Great defense by Schnare. Great rebound by Rowley out to Stuck. Stuck senses Rowley behind him. Rowley from 3 just a little too hard, and Baum gets the rebound. 64-61, 7:49 to go. Inside to McDaniel, and a whistle. I think they're going to call Rowley for that one. So the ball is going to be triggered inbounds. It wasn't a shooting foul. Baum looking for somewhere to go. Has to come all the way back outside to Beckman. Beckman out of Baum, lobs it in, and Larrabee just can't handle it. It was a pretty good pass, but he was sandwiched in between Mason Johnson and Lawrence Rowley, and it's tough to thread a pass between those 2 guys. So a turnover goes against the Maroons. Emory's got the ball and a 3-point lead with 7.5 to go. Nice pass down onto the blocks. Schnare with it, and he's fouled. Matt Schnare's going to go to the free throw line. Right now, Lawrence Rowley is the leading scorer for Emory with 14 points. Mason Johnson has 13. Roman Williams has 9. Matt Davitt has 8. Luke Morrison has 7. Nick Stuck has 7. Matthew Schnare has 6 with a chance. for more right now. For Chicago, 3 guys. Bryce Hopkins with 17, Brendan McDaniel with 16, and Brandon Beckman with 10. So 3 guys with double figures for the Maroons. Emory now up 65-61, a 4-point Emory lead. Cole Smits with it. Beckman, good, 3-pointer. Beckman with 13 points now. Cuts the Emory lead to just 1, and Beckman with a steal. He's been a real thorn in Emory's side here in the second half. He tries another 3, a little bit short, but I can't blame him. He was feeling it. Roman Williams now, top of the key. Nick Stuck into Mason Johnson, down below on the blocks, backing in, comes back outside. Nick Stuck from 3, short. Rebound, Beckman, who has been everywhere, shooting, scoring, playing defense. Colangelo with it now to Cole Smits, who drains the 3. And Emory now trails for the first time since early in the second half. 67-65, Mason Johnson comes back outside. Matt Schneer, 3, short, rebound, Colangelo. And now to Beckman, 6 minutes to go. Emory trails by 2. Emory in man-to-man defense. Schneer on Cole Smits. Colangelo with it. Goes inside to McDaniel. The young man from right here in Georgia. Banks it in. He's got 18. And it's a 4-point lead at 69-65. Roman Williams drives in. Block. Comes back with it. Short. And there's the rebound by Bryce Hopkins. 5:15 to go. Emory down 4. Emory's gone ice cold. Beckman with it. Cole Smits from 3. He hits again. Cole Smits, the leading scorer for the season. And it is quickly 72-65. Now a 7-point lead, which is the biggest lead in the game for either team. A reach-in foul. Looks like it's on 14. It is. That's his 3rd. It's on Beckman. McDaniel takes a seat. Larrabee comes back in. But Emory has dug itself into quite a hole here just in the last couple of minutes. They've been stuck on 65 for a while. In fact, it's an 11-0 run by the Maroons. Boy, 11-0 run. In and out, no good. Matthew Schneer comes down with it, fighting for it. The arrow is Emory's. Schneer and Larrabee, as Larrabee just kind of piled on. Everybody keeping their composure, which is great. In fact, Coach Matt McGrath just high-knuckled Matthew Schneer, said, hey, just hard play. We got some moisture to wipe up, and 4:27 to go. Emory is down by 7. It's time for somebody to step up and hit a 3. Maybe a couple of 3s. Inside it goes. Mason Johnson is blocked, and it's going to go to the Maroons. Good defense by the University of Chicago. Roman Williams checks back in. 72-65. Baum with it now, and he says, I'll bring it down myself. He gives it up to the freshman Hopkins, who finds Colangelo in the corner. The clock right now is Chicago's friend. Colangelo with a nice pass to Cole Schmitz, who is fouled and is going to go to the free throw line. Emory has been stuck on 65 since they had the lead at 65-61. That's 12 straight points now for Chicago. Make it 13 straight points for Chicago. 74-65, Emory down by 9. No need to panic, but they got to get some good shots, and they got to make the shots. Schnarr almost loses it, gives it up to Nick Stuck. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stuck was too far into the hoop. You got to give the University of Chicago some credit here. They've played some very sticky defense. Emory's not shot the ball particularly well, but maybe some of that is the Maroons doing. Schmitz with it now. He's been hot in the second half. Hopkins to Larrabee. To Colangelo. Goes cross court. There's Baum, the left-hander, and he drains the three-pointer to make it 77-65. 16-0 run right now. 16-0 run. Just unbelievable. And they're almost a stolen ball. Emory had the lead at 65-61. So it's 16 straight points for Chicago. Let's hope Roman can hit this free throw and get off 65. Boy, that ball didn't want to go through, but it did. All right, Emory down by 11. Just under 3 minutes to go. And he hits them both. So it's a 10-point game. 77-67. Emory trailed to the half by 1 point, 36-35. And then slowly built up a lead. They had as big a lead as 6 in the second half. But a 16-0 run over the last 3 or 4 minutes has really put the Emory Eagles in a hard spot. Not an impossible spot, but a tough spot. They're down 10 with 3 to go. However, they've got the guys that can shoot threes. They've got Matt Davitt. They've got Roman Williams. They've got Matthew Schnarr. They got Mason Johnson, guys that can hit from 3. They got guys that play good defense. There's a ball almost turned over. Baum tracks it down. And Chicago is going to be fouled by Matt Schnarr. That's going to be his 3rd. Right now, Schnarr has 3, and Rowley has 3. So really no one in big-time foul trouble by any means with just 2:48 to go. Chicago not in the bonus yet, and boy, Cole Schmitz was open, so a turnover. And this is where Emory's got to get it going. They got to come down, run a play, get a good shot off, whether it's a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer. But there's time. They've just got to get things done. Schnarr from 3. A little too hard. Tipped up once, no good by Rowley. Emory just hasn't shot the ball as effectively as they have throughout the course of the season. Colangelo with it. Schnarr again with a jump ball. This time The possession's going to go Chicago's way again. And with 2:24 to go, Emory trails by 10. There's 15 seconds on the shot clock. McDaniel gives it to Baum. Baum is double teamed. Baum's in a little bit of trouble. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Beckman with it. Baum just throws up a prayer. Doesn't hit anything. And the shot clock goes off. It's going to be Emory basketball. So again, 2:08 to go. Emory down 10. But if they could somehow hit a couple of three-pointers, they'd make this very, very interesting. Matt Davitt comes back in. Lawrence Rowley's going to take a seat. Matt can definitely hit the three. Long ranger, good. Roman Williams hits the three-pointer. Roman with 14 points now. Emory down just by 7. And not much time ticked off as a minute 58 remaining with Emory trailing by 7, 77-70. Well, Chicago went on a 16-0 run. Maybe Emory can get on a little roll here. Trailing by 7. Good crowd here at the Woodruff PE Center on a Friday night here in a chilly Atlanta, Georgia. Coach Zimmerman putting in a defensive squad here. He's got offensive guys and defensive guys. These are the better defensive guys. They've got Beckman trapped. He somehow gets away from Mason Johnson. Baum with it now. Chicago in no hurry to run a play or shoot the ball. I think they got Rowley away from the ball on Hopkins. Now that's Rowley's 4th. So Rowley's going to take a seat. Matt Davitt comes back in. And the freshman, who's shooting just 55% from the field, from the free throw line, but is somehow tonight 6 of 7. He has 18 points. He's the leading scorer, tied with McDaniel. And now he has 19. 79-70. Minute 44 to go. Emory needs to come down and get some quick shots off. Nick Stuck, no good. Rebound by Schnare, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Matthew Schnare has 7 points tonight. He also has 9 big rebounds and 3 assists. Boy, in and out and back out again. There's a lid on that rim. Hits the second, so it's 79-71. Emory with a full court pressure. The freshman with it now, and he's fouled, which statistically is a great move. He's only shooting 55% on the year. But tonight, he's 7 out of 8. He's also 6 of 12 from the field, so he's having a big night. He has 19 points. Hits that one. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. This might be an all-time world record for a career 55% shooter. Misses that one. 80-71. No good. It just won't fall for Nick Stuck. It won't fall for anybody. Wide open, and they miss the layup. And it goes out of bounds. So Bryce Hopkins, the 6'5 freshman, had a bunny but lost a little concentration, but he's a great player. Here he is with a steal, and Matt Davitt fouls him. 80-71. These two teams met a week ago. Emory came out on top in that one, 83-66. Bryce Hopkins back to the free throw line where he has 20 points. He's the leading scorer. There he missed one. Three-pointer. Roman Williams just a little short. Lawrence Rowley battling for it. Last touch by McDaniel, I believe. So it's going to be Emory basketball. There's 1 minute to go. 1 minute. Emory's down by 9. They'd have to pull off some kind of Reggie Miller against the Knicks type deal. Three-pointer. Oh, had that gone, it could have been a 4-point play. But Matt Davitt's going to go to the free throw line, and he'll shoot 3. So a chance to pick up 3 points and the clock not move. Matt's an 82% free throw shooter, hits the first. Matt has 9 points on the day. Hits the second one. (80-73). Matt with his third and final free throw. Made all 3. So it's 80-74, a 2-possession game. 59 seconds to go. I've seen wilder things happen, and it's Emory basketball. A turnover by the Maroons. Now, wait a minute. Yeah. McDaniel didn't want to go from out of bounds, but it's going to be Emory hoops underneath their own bucket. A 3-pointer here makes it a 1-possession game. Davitt from 3, and he's fouled, and it won't go in, but again, he's going to have a chance to go to the free throw line with the clock stopped and shoot 3 free throws. This could be the wildest finish of all time. Emory going ice cold in the second half. Chicago going on a 16-0 run. Then Emory down by 12, battles back. Matt Davitt now with 12 points. 13 points. Anything can happen in these final 56.6 seconds now. I hope nobody on our network gave up. They were down 10 just a second ago. They might be down 3. Long range rebound, battling around, and then a jump ball. No! They're going to call Matt Schneier with a foul. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. That was close to a jump ball. Cole Schmitz, the team's senior, leading scorer, but only a 56% free throw shooter, but he hits that one. And it's a 5-point game. Boy, the arrow is going Emory's way. Had that been called a jump ball? Missed it. Roman Williams shaking and baking, going to the hoop. It's blocked. Rebound. Davitt from three. No good. Rebound Maroons. Long pass to McDaniel, who's fouled. 38 seconds to go. Emory down by 5. And that's going to send number 35, Brennan McDaniel, a 6'6 junior from Roswell, Georgia, from Woodward Academy, a 68% free throw shooter, and a guy who's played an outstanding game with 18 big points, to the free throw line. Make it 19 points. (82-76), 38 seconds. And he hits them both. He's got 20 points. Roman Williams has the basketball. He's going to shoot a three. No good. Cole Smits with the rebound and the foul on Matt Davitt. 83-76. Emory made it very interesting, fighting all the way to the final buzzer, but Cole Smits has had a good second half. Misfires there, just a 56% free throw shooter. But he has 17 points, make it 18. 84-76. Three-pointer, short, no good. Bomb with it. Trying to trap him. Goes cross court, 16 seconds to go. This one's going to go on the win column for the Maroons of the University of Chicago. The two coaches have already shook hands. 84-76 is going to be your final. Emory's going to